Today is day 14, and we are going to talk about picking somebody from the place when your cup is full versus your cup is empty. If you don't know the concept of empty cup and full cup, empty cup is when you are running out of fumes and you feel you are in the chasing mode. You think that, oh, if I only find love, then my life will be full. Versus the full cup is when the cup is really full, meaning you are not looking for anything. You are happy with who you are. Here is what I have for you guys: empty cup and full cup. I'm going to bring the reference a lot more as I discuss. So, you know the feeling when if you are divorced or you had a breakup from a long-term relationship, and now you are back into the dating scene, you want to make sure that you find the right love. So, how do you know that if the person that you're looking for, even though you had the butterflies and all of that, things are going okay, but you're afraid? And some fear is normal because you have been through a lot. There were situations where you trusted somebody the most, they broke your trust, and all of that. On some level, all of that happens when a breakup happens from a long-term relationship or divorce. But what you have to remember is every person is different. So person who you dated for a long time or you were in a relationship with could be this person, and this person could be totally different. I just have to tell it in our mind that they're different, right? Because all 8 billion people in this world has 8 billion unique paths. No one is similar. If we say that they're similar, it is just from our own experiences that we draw the pattern, we draw that conclusion. So 3 simple tips, as I always share with you guys. The first one is thinking, right? Thinking in our brain. How do we start thinking differently? So whenever you are talking to somebody new, and when I'm saying talking to somebody new from the perspective of dating, start thinking that any thoughts and actions that you are going ahead with this person, is it coming from loneliness, right? Because you don't have any friends and family, you are distanced from your family for whatever reason, and now you have this person that you can talk everything about, right? So with that, a lot of time what ends up happening is you might end up going into the same type of situation again, and that creates a codependent relationship. And that's where you have to be very careful, because in your relationship, let's say you were married for 20 years and then you had a divorce, and what could end up happening is things are good in the beginning and even after that, because otherwise you won't be married for 20 years. But somewhere along the line, you guys started drifting apart, and whatever has happened. And top 2 reasons for divorce, by the way, if you guys are unaware of that, is number 1 is finance, number 2 is infidelity, meaning cheating. But there are many other reasons why divorce happens. These are just the top 2. So what happens is somewhere in between, 2 people start growing apart, and then at some point the distance becomes so much further that they just can't come back together, and things just blow out of proportion and things fall apart. So if you guys don't know my journey, I lost my executive job and my marriage fell apart at the same time a year and a half ago. You can binge watch in 2024. Now I'm laughing. It was not a laughing matter when it happened. I was like a zombie for months. Anyway, but from that rock bottom, I built my unstoppable comeback, and that's what I teach people now. Anyway, through this YouTube channel and in person coaching, and coaching is just one part of the business. Anyway, so in this videos, my goal is to share with you guys, if you're watching these videos, how can you heal yourself so that you get into that fulfilling life, right? And then you think about the person, because without that, the person you will be picking is going to create the same type of challenges and the familiar pain, because guess what? We look for familiar pain instead of the unknown. The interesting part is the life that you are looking to create is in the unknown, because if you had what all you are looking for, then it isn't the existing, right? There is, all the existing. This is all the known, right? So if you want to create a new life, it has to be from the unknown, even if you go by the logic, right? So stay with me on this. So you start thinking, am I picking, or are my actions aligning with, based on the loneliness? Because I don't have a friend, so I'm just constantly looking for their text messages. I am just texting them constantly, right? Because to live a healthy life, you also want to have your fun stuff that you do. What is your hobby? Are you continuing the hobby, or you're just constantly just with this person? Now, there is always this phase that you have this initial butterflies, right? And that is good, but you want to make sure that you also are doing other fun stuff along with it. You have your career, and in this channel I talk about also like the four things, right? Relationship, your deepest desires and dreams, which brings you fun, career, your health, physical and emotional health. So we have to have all of this, all four of this in balance. It's almost like having four wheels of the car when they drive. I think that concept comes from Tony Robbins, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, so start thinking that all your actions and the things that you speak, all of that, is it from loneliness, or it is from, when you're in a full cup? So if you, as you think, when you have more awareness, if you see that if you are making out from the loneliness, from the empty cup, start creating some affirmation for yours. Write it down that I fill my own cup, right? I fill my own cup, and I attract the people who also has a full cup. It doesn't have to be full cup. The point is so that your happiness, all of that are with you, because there is a rule of life. They say that your happiness is your responsibility, right? So when you are happy with whatever you have, small, big, large, house, whatever, your car, I don't know, whatever makes you happy, right? Different people have different things. I am happy with, actually, in 3 weeks, my daughter and we are going for a little trip, road trip. I'll be covering that. I have a new playlist there in 25 days. We're going to be putting that. I'm already excited, you guys. I don't know why I clapped, because I'm so happy about that. So that's the thing I'm talking about. When you are so happy with the little things, you will be happy with the big things. So is your cup full, doing what you do in life? And it's not that you're just chasing for the right person to come into your life and make you happy, because then they are going to feel that, because the energy, it radiates like that. So they're going to feel that energy. So that's why you want to create some affirmation around it, going back to the thinking, speaking, and whichever way it applies to you, start sharing that with your friends. And, bring your friends, drag them down here so that you guys can do it together. And you can also comment down here. So that works as your affirmation, right? And you might inspire somebody else. You never know. Because I know some people are following this, but they're staying silent. My silent viewers, comment below. Now for action. That is where it can really move the needle. So I'm going to tell you this. So for the action perspective, what you want to do is, every day may not be your high energy day, right? So what I mean by that is, say you have some fun experience. I don't know, your daughter's birthday. I'm just saying because it was a few weeks ago, it was my daughter's birthday. I was super happy. I'm normally a happy person, but that day was awesome. There's this climbing place, and then there's like a huge keyboard. I have video about that on the channel, by the way. So I climbed, and normally it's only for kids, like, kids, elementary, middle school. But then I just wanted to be like a kid. So I climbed that. And actually my friend, I also brainwashed her to climb with me. She's my age. And then we did that. It was so much fun. So I'm talking about days like that, where you are in a really high frequency zone. Then ask yourself the question, who do I want to be with? Who do I want to be with? The reason I say that is because that is the version, that's your point B. If you're in point A now, that is your point B. You are careless. You're careless from the point of view that you don't go out and say bad things to people, but you just have fun. That's what I mean. Without hurting anyone else, without hurting yourself. That's the rule. That's the only rule. But you have fun. So when you are in that zone, you are going to start thinking about those people where your cup is full and that is overflowing, and you are going to be attracting those people whose cup is also full, right? And that is a fun-filled life, which you can also call fulfilled life, you want to live, right? Because life is supposed to be fun. Life is supposed to be fearless. Life is supposed to be all these good things, right? And for you to live a fulfilling life, you want to choose from a place when you are here, not from a place when your cup is empty, right? And again, there is nothing wrong to have an empty cup sometimes, but the point is you have to figure out, when is it getting empty, what do I need to do? And that I'm going to be covering. I'm going to be creating a series. If you're still here, I'm going to be creating a series actually in the coming months where I talk about the 4 areas of life where most of the time that is what gets overlooked, the fun part, right? So we don't do anything for fun. We're just working day and night, and we might be keeping our health in check because we have the doctor's appointment. If something goes wrong, then we have to go to the doctor, so it gets checked. And the relationship, you can't live without relationship, your family, friends, whoever. But the fun part goes missing, and then the stress builds up. So that is where you have to make sure your cup is not empty. So with that, my friends, make sure as you do all of this, the action part, like I said, that is the make or break, right? So in action, choose from a place where your cup is full. Go out, have fun. One of those days when you are like living in that zone that you're like, this is the life I want to live, right? And that is when start thinking and then the interesting part is, several days ago, I shared that video where I talk about your non-negotiables, right? Create your non-negotiables. You might even end up changing your non-negotiable based on that, because, fun parts are, it's when you get into that zone, some of the things that you think are important may not be as important, but something else might be important. You just don't know. So as you do that, you have to make sure that you are not holding on to something that you think are important, not necessarily you feel important. The thinking and feeling, there could be some difference. And that is why I say that choose from a place when you are really feeling fulfilled, not when you're thinking when you are fulfilled, right? There's a difference. And if you have any point about that, comment below. I'd be happy to hear your thoughts about that. And this is all about this. It's a movement. It's a movement. After divorce, a lot of people think that life is over, life is sad, you're in a midlife. No, it's a new beginning. Did you know? This is not related to dating, but in Dale Carnegie book, I heard that Abraham Lincoln, which is considered the best president in the United States from many angles, they said that he was a Mr. Nobody from nowhere until he was 40. Imagine that. Imagine that. He's like probably the most popular president, and nobody knew about him until he crossed 40 years old. And that is what midlife starts, after 40. Even though these days, people might consider anywhere from 35 to 60, 65, you're still in your midlife because longevity increased. But that's the thing. It's a new beginning. All is in your mind. Okay, so with that, I'm going to finish the video. For tomorrow, I'm going to be covering that soul level connection might move slow. Soul level connection might move, my tongue twister for myself. Soul level connection may take time because it's slower, and that is okay. Because if you just feel the butterflies, everything is moving fast, that does not always mean that it's a good thing, but it can be. But soul level connection is what you are looking for. So I'm going to be covering it tomorrow. Come back tomorrow. See you. Bye.